Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaurabhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So आज का दिन में हरि नाम का इम्पोर्टेंस और महत्व का बारे में बताना चाहता हूँ. सो दिस ये 16 अक्षर का जो हरि नाम है, इसका महत्व बहुत ही it's very like the importance of this 16 words of syllable Hare Krishna mantra is very huge. We are very fortunate. बहुत ही क्या कह सकते, गुरु की कृपा. जैसे मैंने प्रेयर में बोला था, हम लोग तो इग्नोरेंस में थे, अज्ञान में थे. वो अज्ञाना बोल रहा था. So we were in ignorance and we were not knowing anything about this Harinam. But by the kripa of the Guru, just like a torchlight in the prayer we said, just like that Guru actually holds this torchlight. By their mercy and by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we have got this Harinam. So the moment, so जब भी हम जपा करेंगे ये 16 अक्षर का जो भी हरिनाम है, जब हम करेंगे तो इसमें 3 स्टेज बताते हैं प्रभुपाद. तो इसमें पहला जो स्टेज है अपराध का स्टेज है. So this is the offensive stage, called as the offensive stage, when we go through the first stage, chanting the holy names of the Lord. And then Prabhupada says the second stage is the cleansing stage. So the Shuddhikarana ka stage है. And the third stage is the transcendental stage. A third stage जो है a transcendental stage होता है. So ये जब भी एक स्टेज में हम जपा करते हैं तो उसमें क्या होता है कि हमारा जो भी श्रद्धा है और faith जो भी faith है, it actually increases every time we chant more and more. Our faith on the Lord, faith on the Harinam actually increases, because this is the Yuga Dharma of Kali Yuga, the Sankirtana. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us. But what happens is, जब भी हम अपराध के स्टेज में होते हैं, जो भी इनिशियल है, I will just share one of my experience, which I went through during this stage. Actually, I'm also going now also through this stage only. But when I was early in to ISKCON, and then when I was chanting, so some of the experiences I had, I just wanted to share, because this is the stage where our faith actually starts increasing. And जो भी ये श्रद्धा जो बढ़ना है, ये केवल हो सकता है भक्ति के एसोसिएशन से, भक्ति के संगत से. अगर भक्त का संग नहीं है तो ये श्रद्धा का इंक्रीज होना बहुत ही मुश्किल हो जाता है. So this was one experience where I had, which I would like to share. So we would have experienced in last week also when we were in Vrindavan. So we'd have seen, like, we want or don't want, we were in the association of devotees. Wherever we went, wherever we came, we saw that even though if we forgot to actually do the japa, we see early morning when we come out of our rooms and see that we will see devotees actually holding the japa bag and then chanting. जब भी बाहर आते हैं लोग राधे राधे बोलते हैं, so automatically we realize that actually we should chant the names of the Lord. So that is the importance of this association. But very unfortunately, we are to make something out of our life. We are in this so-called शहर में रहते हैं, और जब भी शहर में बाहर आते हैं, हमें भक्त मिलना बहुत ही मुश्किल हो जाते हैं. So we have to deal with non-devotees also. It's not that they are non-devotees. They have some faith on Lord, but it's not very much. The faith on the Lord is not very much. So similarly, I also went through this stage. And once when I was preaching to one of my friends, जब मेरा दोस्त को हरिनाम का बारे में बता रहा था, so he was very initial. He had faith on the Lord. उसको भगवान में विश्वास था, पर जब मैं हरिनाम का बारे में बोल रहा था तो बोल रहा था कि ऐसा 16 word syllable है, you should actually take to this process of chanting, you should try chanting. There is 108 mala beads in these things, and you should do this thing. So he was very interesting for him. He was listening very keenly, and then slowly he started asking, okay, Prabhu, then how many, you are saying 108 times, how much time it will take? I said around 5 to 7 minutes. And then he started asking me, okay, how many rounds you chant? And I said, I chant 16 round में करता हूँ. तो इसके लिए कितना टाइम लगेगा? तो अप्रोक्सीमेटली बोल रहा था, पूछ रहा था. मैं बोल रहा था कि उसको 2 घंटा लग जाएगा जपा करने. So immediately become astonished. 2 घंटा, एक दिन में 2 घंटा तुम सिर्फ जपा माला पर रख के जपा करते हो? ये 2 घंटा बहुत अमूल्य चीज है शहर के रहने वाले के लिए. अगर ये टाइम मुझे मिल गया तो मैं अपना बीवी बच्चे से भी इतना टाइम मैं नहीं दे सकता. तुम कैसे 2 घंटे एक माला पकड़ के जपा करते हो? तो मुझे मुझे तो बहुत आश्चर्य लगता है. So he started saying like this. And the moment I heard this from him, like I also felt like, oh yes, whatever he's saying also looks like strange. 2 hours is a very precious time for me, and I am holding a japa mala and then doing the japa, taking harinam, and I'm doing nothing else. So much time is precious, and am I really wasting some time? So much time I'm not giving it. I'm not able to give it to my family also. So is it whatever I'm doing, is it really correct or not? So this doubt actually arose. So my faith got shaken there. So immediately what I did was I approached a devotee and then started sharing with him that about this, the time, the value of time. So then Prabhuji gave me a very nice example. He gave me a very nice story what Prabhupada had quoted. I'm sure like you also would have come across this story, but this story made a lot of influence on me, even though it is well known to everybody. But the story has a lot of values onto it, a lot of lessons to be learned from this story, and this had a great influence on me. I'll just share you this story. So this is a very, I am sure you would have known about it. So एक कहानी ऐसा जाता है कि एक शहर, एक बहुत बड़ा राज्य होता है, उसमें बहुत ही बड़ा राजा होता है. वो बहुत ही अमीर होता है और उसको उसको उसका उसका जो भी राज्य था उसमें संपूर्ण opulence was there. So all the opulences was there in this kingdom. So as you know, Raja means generally to spend different time, different, and then जो भी चारवा पत्नी थी वो बहुत यंग थी. सबसे she was generally like he gets to attracted to the youngest of all, right? So he was very attracted most of the time for this queen, taking always thinking about her needs, satisfying, trying to satisfying her needs, and see what she wants, always trying to fulfill the needs. He was very intimate, had a very intimate relationship with her, and trying to spend most of the time what he had with her only. And then this the third queen was also very important to him. He had interest on the third queen also, but not like the fourth queen. But तीसरा बीवी को भी वो पसंद करता था. Like जब भी वो बाहर जाता था, he whenever he used to visit the neighboring states, he used to always take the third queen because she was very attractive and people used to get attracted to her opulence. So he used to always take third queen with her. But he was always doubtful that whether this queen will be with me because she has so much of attraction. So always he had that in mind. So that's why he was not so much attracted to the third queen as he was attracted to the fourth queen. And then there was also the second queen, the second Patni, Uska. He was also attracted to the second wife, and he used to spend very little time with them, not so much time as he used to spend with the third queen and the fourth queen. First, he used to spend most of his time. Whenever he had any problem, he had any issues, he always goes to that wife and asks to that wife, and she would actually come up with some solution and then make him peaceful. And then he used to get a lot of relief by having time with the second wife. And then there was the first queen. The first queen, as you know, would be the oldest of all the queens. And this king was not so much interested about the first queen. In fact, he actually had forgotten this first queen itself. He did not even have any time to spare with the first queen. He completely neglected the first queen, and was spending most of the time either with the fourth queen, mostly with the fourth queen, and then if he had some time with the third queen, and then if he had any time left out, then he used to spend his time with the second queen. So as this life was going very smoothly, he was enjoying a lot of time with the fourth queen, enjoying his life very opulently with the fourth queen. So one day a time came where he became sick, and then the Raja Vedya, they came, and then they started सोचने लगे कि राजा को क्या हो गया है. तो राजा को एक ऐसा बीमार आ गई थी कि वो क्योर नहीं होने वाला है अभी. तो अभी बोलते हैं कि राजा को, राजा आप अभी भौतिक जगत को छोड़ने का समय आ गया है, पता नहीं आप कितना दिन रहेंगे, देख लीजिए, बोल के राजा वैद्य भी बोल देता है. So Raja starts meditating. Now that I am going to leave this material world, I will be actually alone. So I have spent so much time with my four queens. These four queens are always with me. So why don't I why don't I ask to these queens whether they would like to accommodate me? I don't want to be alone. Let me actually have at least one of the queens with me. So he's generally attracted to the fourth queen. So he called this fourth queen and then started asking. ये चारवा रानी को पूछने लगा कि अभी मैं इस भौतिक जगत में नहीं रह सकता हूँ, तो मैं छोड़ने वाला हूँ. मैं तो कितना समय बिताया हूँ आपके साथ, तो आपका सभी नीड्स को पूरा कर दिया किया हूँ. तो क्यों नहीं आप भी मेरे साथ आ सकते हैं, जब मैं मर जाऊंगा आप भी क्यों नहीं मेरे साथ आ सकते हैं. So immediately fourth queen said, you think I am a fool. If you are going to die, you go. Why should I come? I am not going to come. I don't bother about you. Just she will say like that, and then she will go out from the queen's palace. And immediately the king feels so much hurt that I have spent almost all the time with her. I have spent all my energy onto satisfying her needs, and this queen comes her when I really needed her the most. When I am asking her association, she's actually piercing my heart with a knife. So much he gets hurt when this fourth wife says. And then as the fourth wife goes off, immediately he turns on to the third wife, thinking that at least the third wife will be with me. And then he goes to asks the third wife to come. Then he again shares the same thing. Now that I am going to leave this Bhautik Jagat, क्यों नहीं आप मेरा साथ कर सकते. So immediately the third wife will say, "Oh Raja, I am very sorry, I cannot be with you. When you actually leave this Bhautik Jagat, I will actually marry another person, and I will actually live very happily with him. So don't think that I will come along with you. So I will just leave you and then take the shelter of another person." So this third wife tells this to this person, and immediately the Raja becomes still more dukhi ho jata hai, because he has spent most of the time with the third wife and the fourth wife, and third wife is now saying in front of him without caring for him, she's saying, the moment you go, I will actually marry another person. So he becomes so much disturbed, very, very disturbed he becomes. And then he again turns on to the second wife, and he asks, see, whenever I am in trouble, you are the one who actually solicited me. At least you come with me. I need somebody who has to be with me. So please, at least you come with me. So then the second wife says, oh Raja, we love you very much, but it is, you should understand that it is not possible for me to come with you when you actually pass away. What I can do, at least do, is I will come to some extent, at least to come till your body is actually graveyard there. Don't expect me to come more than that stage. So after hearing, more worried, and then he feels like all that lifetime and life that he had spent is actually of no worth, because nobody's wanting to come with him. All the queens, all the three queens whom he had lot of trust and faith, all of them are saying that they will not actually try to accompany. So he becomes less hope. Of course, he had first wife, but he has not spent any time. Even he has not even looked into her for so many years. So he did not even turn up asking that wife whether she would come. But that wife voluntarily came, and then when we saw her wife, the first wife, she was very lean. She was so much not good to see at all. She was very lean, gone lean, had very little opulence. She was very meek, very humble, and she says actually, "Oh king, don't worry. You have actually married me, and it is my duty that I actually always be with you. So you don't worry. I will actually try to accompany you even at the time of death, and after you die also. So when the king says this, the king becomes very ashamed. So I have not spent any time with her. I've not given her any importance in my whole life. I have been always associating with my fourth wife, third wife. But she, this first wife, whom I did not even bother at all, she is actually coming to me and saying that I will be. Then Prabhuji told me this story. Similarly, our life is also very much similar to this Raja. So we are actually this Raja, and this four queens, which represents some in some things in our life. So this four things are queens represents a very important things. Who are these four queens? So I was trying to guess this four queens. Any guesses? It's almost time, so I don't want to actually take much more time. So this four queens, Prabhuji said, the fourth queen is actually our body. The body is the is this body, material body, what we have. We spend most of the time for this body, trying to decorate this body, trying to make ensure ourselves that this body looks very beautiful, and then do things, trying to satisfy all the comfort, trying to give all the comforts and needs for this body. But when the time comes, we know that this body is no longer going to come along with us. So it's going to leave. It's going to just be part of this material world. So this fourth queen represents our body, which is not going, which we spend most of our time. And then the third queen is the possessions we have, the wealth we have, the property which we have. So this is what we actually try to show to our neighbor, how much wealth we possess. But when we pass away, when we leave this material world, this wealth also will become somebody else's property, right? The property what we have, it's not that it's not going to go away. Somebody else will take up this property. Similarly, just like the properties what we have acquired, the homes, the uh, wealth, the money which we have, it will get transferred to somebody else. So this third wife represents the wealth which we possess, and the second wife is our wives and relatives and friends. So our wife and relatives are friends. They will be with us. They will try to solve our problems, but they can also accommodate us only to the graveyard. That's the maximum that they can come. So who is this first wife? Any guesses? Okay. So this first wife is actually the Paramatma, and the king is the Lord. So the Paramatma is the one always accompanying us. But what happens is actually we are in so much ignorance that we don't know that actually God is actually with us, and He is always residing with us. Paramatma, He is actually always trying to guide us. But we, because of our ignorance, because of our andhakar, are not able to see the Lord, and we actually forget Him. But Lord is in every birth that we take. Lord is actually trying to accommodate us, trying to satisfy our desires, and always He's there to see that. We don't try to see the Lord because we don't give any time to the Lord. So that's why we are not able to see the Lord. Just like the king did not give any time for the first queen, we don't give any time for the Paramatma who is sitting within us and trying to help us to come out of this material world. So just when Prabhu said this story, he's trying to say this. Now you understand. You want to spend time with your fourth wife, or you want to spend time with your first wife. So I understood that because of the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Srila Prabhupada and the mercy of devotees, somehow have got reveal me the Paramatma inside me. By chanting offenselessly, I can increase my faith. And when my faith increases, the cleansing happens. And when the cleansing happens, then I will get the transcendental love of Godhead. Because I am lacking that love of Godhead, I am actually not able to see the Paramatma. So when we spend more and more time in chanting, we are actually trying to cleanse ourselves and trying to see the Paramatma who is sitting within ourselves and trying to guide us to reach the ultimate goal of life. But if we don't spend time, then we are just going to suffer as the king suffered. So this story played a very important, vital role in my life also. So it gave me a lot of lessons when you have heard this story, and then it again increased my faith on Japa. So every time I turn on to Japa, every time when people ask me, especially when the non-devotees ask these questions, so I actually remember this story for myself. I don't share this with them, but I try to remember this myself, and then the faith actually starts increasing on. I'll stop here. Sorry for taking more time than as usual. Hare Krishna. Thank you for giving up.